is what I was just talking about with the spleen. It transforms food into food chi. So we have food chi. We have all kinds of chi, a lot of different types of chi. So transforming, the spleen transforms food, the kidney transforms fluid, so that's processing the water we drink and liquids we drink. The heart chi transforms food chi into blood. So that's one of the heart's main functions. Another function of chi is to transport. So transporting the spleen chi transports food into the body and kind of in harmony with the stomach. So that's a big thing the spleen does. Lung chi transports fluids to the skin. The kidney chi transports chi up. The liver chi transports, like I said before, outward. The lung chi transports chi down. So, like, an example of that is we take a breath, the chi of the air enters the body, and the lung sends it down. Then the kidney, that's a beautiful relationship with the breathing cycle. The lungs bring it in, it goes down, and it meets the kidneys. So our breathing is related with this axis of the lung and the kidney. And it's the kidney that grasps that chi. So then we have a complete breath with that relationship. And then the kidney pushes it up. So inhaling and exhaling. So then, you know, in cases, for instance, like asthma, you want to determine, is it the lung or the kidney? So that kind of gets a little bit more complicated than we'll talk about now. But, you know, is it more with the inhale or the exhale or the issue is? So transforming, transporting. Another function of chi is holding. So in this case, the spleen, like I said, holds the blood in the vessels. So anytime you have a problem with bruising, that's the chi's kind of, the spleen chi is weak because it's not holding the blood as well in the vessels. The kidneys and the bladder hold urine. The lungs hold sweat. So these are functions of the chi of those organs. Raising. So this is lifting. Primarily it's the spleen here that lifts. Basically, so this is another big function of the spleen, is holding the organs in place. So anytime we have prolapse, like a uterine prolapse, you can have a hernia. Hernias seem to be chi sinking, so it's where it's supposed to hold up and it's dropping down. Hemorrhoids, anytime you have something where it's falling when it should be raising. Then protecting. We have chi that circulates just on the outside of the body to protect us from what they call exterior pathogens, which are things like cold, heat, dampness, dryness, wind. These are the external climates, what they call them climate factors or pathogens, that actually if we're exposed to, and either our constitution is, what's the word? We have basically, if we have a tendency, maybe we have a hot constitution, so we have a tendency to get hot easily, and then we're in a hot climate. So that's going to, that level of heat is going to easily exacerbate us because we're already hot, right? So it can be that way, or even if we don't have a constitutional tendency towards heat, but we're in a really hot place, or maybe our systems are running kind of on low, that it's more likely that that climate factor can affect us. So those are one of the three ways that we can get sick. We don't have time to talk about it tonight, but I'll just list them since I named it there. Those are the external factors that I just mentioned. Internal factors are things like our emotions, which are, you know, they're healthy when they're expressed in an appropriate way, but they're unhealthy when either they're repressed or they kind of continue on for a long, long time. So we want to have healthy, appropriate expressions of all the emotions. So those are the internal causes. Then the third category is everything else. So this includes things like diet, sleep, lifestyle, sexual activity, just regular activity or inactivity, parasites, trauma, all the things that can happen to us, all fall into that other category.
Other than the heart, are there other organs that have to do with emotions?
They all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, every organ has its corresponding emotion. So, yeah. Okay, so protecting, primary And then the sixth one is warming. Generally, you know, if we think back to that yin and yang symbol, and we have yin on one side, yang on the other side, a way that sometimes I'll draw it, I'll just draw it now. So if we have, this is yin, yang. Another way to think about qi and blood, which is to put them in the middle of this circle, like this. And this would be qi, and this would be blood. Because blood is more of a moist, dense substance, like yin is, whereas qi is relatively more light, more related to energy. But similarly to yin and yang, they're totally in harmony, they're totally inseparable, they completely depend upon each other. The blood is what nourishes the qi is what moves the blood. They have to be together. Qi helps to generate blood, like I just was talking about when we eat, and the heart, the spleen, and the heart, and that relationship for creating nutrient-rich blood. So it's really about the qi in the blood. And when we talk about acupuncture, a lot of it is working on the level of the qi in the blood. You definitely are affecting yin and yang, but because of that close relationship that the meridians have, moving qi in blood, you're immediately affecting the qi in the blood. So it takes usually a little bit longer to affect the yin and the yang. And a lot of times if you really are having a yin and yang imbalance, it's a little bit more chronic usually in nature. And it's really good to use herbs in addition to acupuncture. Alright, so that's